This bill does nothing to solve our long-term fiscal challenges because everybody here knows that this isn't going anywhere. Instead, it's a political stunt. Instead, it hurdles us closer and closer to a devastating default. For years, presidents and Congresses of both parties have raised the debt ceiling, recognizing that endangering the full faith and credit of the United States would be a grave mistake. It's amazing to me how many Republicans I've heard who dismiss the potential of default as no big deal. No big deal? Tell that to the family who would have to pay higher interest rates on their mortgage, their car loan, their student loan. It would be a very big deal to them. Many of my friends on the other side of the aisle didn't just stand by as we created these massive deficits. They were active participants. They voted for 2 huge tax cuts, mostly for wealthy people, that weren't paid for, 2 wars that weren't paid for, a massive prescription drug program that wasn't paid for, and now their solution is to punish the very Americans who can least afford it, all in the name of keeping their rich friends and their special interests happy. The Boehner plan is unbalanced and unfair. It slashes programs like Social Security and Medicare that benefit the middle class and the poor. But the Republicans insist on protecting tax breaks for oil and gas companies. Just today, ExxonMobil announced profits of $10.7 billion for the second quarter. Do they really need special tax breaks? The American people sure don't think so. Poll after poll shows that the vast majority of our citizens prefer a balanced approach. Yes, we need to cut spending. Yes, we need to reform our government. But everybody needs to chip in to do their part, including the very wealthy who have benefited the most. Now, there are certainly places to save. How about ending wars that aren't paid for? Right now, we borrow $10 billion every month for military operations in Afghanistan alone to prop up a corrupt and incompetent Karzai government. How about ending wasteful subsidies to big agriculture companies? How about asking billionaire hedge fund managers to pay the same tax rates as their secretaries? The truth is that the best way to deal with our long-term fiscal situation is to grow our economy. That means creating jobs and putting people back to work. The last election, I thought, was about jobs. We haven't talked about jobs at all since the new Republican majority came to power. That means investing in things like education and infrastructure and green technology and medical research. That's the kind of economic future the American people deserve. The Boehner default plan would take us exactly in the wrong direction, and I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to reject it. I yield back the balance of my time.